Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all of you. So, as we come to know here, what do you mean by water of crystallization, and as well as the water of crystallization, we will study only when we are studying about the hydrated salt. First, I need to say you, if we take the salts, as we know that all the compounds has been classifying into three categories. One is acids and as well as bases, and third one is salts. So now these salts again classifying into two types. One is, already you people know that. Can you able to say that? First one is what? Hydrated salts. What is that? Hydrated salts. And second one is called as unhydrated salts. Unhydrated salts. So all of you should remember this. So one is what? Hydrated salts, and another one is unhydrated salts. Now, what do you mean by hydrated salts means? Remember, hydrated salts contains some, understand, a fixed number of water molecules. What is that? Fixed number of water molecules. So that is only called as a fixed number of water molecules. That is what we should call it as hydrated. Now, unhydrated means no water molecule is present. No molecules of water is present. Sir, then if water molecules is present, is it looks like a wet? No, it is not looks like a wet. Only hydrated or unhydrated we can identify. Last class also have been taught you based upon the color. How we can identify? Based on what? Color only. So when it contains a fixed number of water molecules, that salt contains some other kind of color. Once that water molecules is really removed from that, then some other color it will change us. That is what we should call it as unhydrated salt. What we should call it, guys? Unhydrated salt. Sir, here water molecules is contained. So that is it a wet salt? No. Remember, suppose if I take copper sulfate crystals, what is that? Speak, yeah. What I'm saying? Copper sulfate. Suppose if I take hydrated copper sulfate, actually it contains 5 water molecules. How many water molecules? 5 water molecules. This is hydrated salt. So doesn't mean that it is a wet salt. It is not a wet salt. It is dry only, but it is contains 5 water molecules, and the color, when it contains 5 water molecules, the color is blue. What is the color? Blue. Now, if I'll start heating and if I'll remove this water, then we used to get unhydrated copper sulfate. Unhydrated copper sulfate. So this is the color is white color. What is the color? White. You should remember. This is unhydrated. Unless until if you are not responding, there is no use of this one. So that is what I'm saying. Definitely one MCQ will come from this concept. So the fixed number of water molecules is present in that. That is only we should call it as water of crystallization. What we should call it, guys? Water of crystallization. Remember all of you. So some salts which contains few water molecules, which is it is an essential part of their crystal structure. Actually, why sir this water of crystallization is present? Because when they contains these water molecules only, they will get a crystal structure. What they will get? Crystal structure. Do you understand, guys? If not, they will convert it into powder form. So that is the reason we can say this water of crystallization. What is the main aim of this water of crystallization means? Water molecules which are present in the salt, they are essential part of their crystal structure. What is that? Water of crystallization is what? Water of crystallization is an essential. Crystallization is an essential part of what? Essential part of their crystal structure. Their crystal structure. So that is why you can see the water molecules which form a part of the structure, of a crystal is only called as water of crystallization. What we should call it, guys? Water of crystallization, which will help the salt to form a crystal form, to form a crystal structure. That is what we should call it as water of crystallization. Is it okay, guys? Please respond here. Understand? So now, if you observe here, these salts which contains water of crystallization, they are only called as, what is the name called as, Ra? Who is containing water of crystallization? They are called as what? Nitinath? Nitish?
Hydrated salt.
Hydrated salts, remember. So whatever the salts they contains water, that is only called as hydrated salt. So every hydrated salt is having a fixed number of molecules of water of crystallization in one formula unit. Yesterday exam also you are getting one question. Have you remembered? So one formula unit of copper sulfate. For example, if you take one formula unit of copper sulfate, one formula unit means atomic mass, like we can say it is an ion, so that formula unit. Class 9 chemistry chapter 3 you have been studied. Is it yes, guys? Formula unit. So one formula unit mass, whatever the molecules are present, water molecules, that is called as water of crystallization. For example, if you take one formula unit of CuSO4, it contains how many water molecules? How many water molecules? 5 water molecules. So this 5H2O is the water of crystallization of copper sulfate salt. What is that?
For 1 unit there contain 5 molecules.
Yes, one formula unit, one copper sulfate molecule contains 5H2O. That is what the meaning. Understand, Karthikeyan?
Yes, sir.
So actually, this copper sulfate, we can say you have been studied in class 9, the molecular mass and atomic mass. Have you studied? Have you remembered, guys? Molecular mass, next atomic mass. Is yes or no? Tell me, atomic mass. So this molecular mass for molecules, this atomic mass for atoms. Calculating the mass of an atoms, we will call atomic mass, which is to represent with a U. Have you remembered here? Respond. Same way, if you are calculating the mass of molecule, then that is called as molecular mass. So, like that, if you are calculating the mass of any kind of compound, which is formed by exchange of ions. Do you understand, guys? Exchange of electrons and they will form ions. Exchange of electrons and they will form ions. You can see here ions. What is ions, Ra? Cu2 plus SO4 2 minus. Is it yes or no, guys? Is it yes or no? So if any kind of chemical compound will form by like formation of ions, then their atomic mass or molecular mass we used to call as formulae unit. What we should call, guys? Formulae unit. Respond me. Formulae unit we should call. So if you take one formula unit of copper sulfate, it contains 5 H2O molecules. Is it clear? That is what we should call as water of crystallization. Anybody is having any doubt? You ask me, please. It's okay. So if not, please write the definition of water of crystallization. Right. The water molecules. Write fastly. The water molecules which form a part of the structure of a water, structure of a crystal. Understanding? Crystal of a salt are called water of crystallization. What we should call, Karthikeyan? Water of
Crystallization.
Pranav, this water of crystallization salts, what we should call, Pranav? Jesse, which contains water of crystallization are called as what? These only hydrated salt. So is it all the hydrated salts having same number of molecules or different number of molecules of water? Different number of water. Understand? Different. So it is fixed. Understand? It is fixed in a particular type of salt. Now, for example, let us go with the first salt itself, the well-known salt for us. So many are there. You can respond correct. Pranita, Arun Karthikeyan, Akshaya, everybody you can. Suppose, let me take copper sulfate. If you take the copper sulfate, what is that? Copper sulfate, what is the formula? So copper sulfate contains how many copper sulfate crystals? They contain. 5 water molecules. So you should not say 5 water molecules. You should say 5 molecules of water of crystallization. What we should call? Contains 5 molecules of water of crystallization. Water of Crystallization. That is what you have to remember it. So then you can see water of crystallization in one formula unit of what? One formula unit of copper sulfate. That is what. So we can write what is the one formula unit of copper sulfate? Can you able to say one formula unit of copper sulfate?
Sir, 5H2O.
No, one
CuSO4 5H2O, sir. 5H2O.
It contains 5H2O. So that is the first. Very, very important. Next, if we'll go for second one.
Sir, how to find it is for one formula unit, sir?
This is called as one formula unit. It is if I write here 2, if I write 3, then it is called as 2 formula unit, 3 formula unit. Understand, Karthikeyan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is, here I am writing only one. One I am not representing. So it is one formula unit of CuSO4. Is it okay? Understand?
Okay, sir.
Next, let me take washing soda crystals. What is the washing soda formula? Varshini, Yalini, Dilipan.
Na2CO3.
Now everybody respond me. So if you take washing soda crystals, washing soda, what is the chemical name? This is general name. What is the chemical name?
Sir, sodium carbonate.
Yeah.
Sodium carbonate.
Will take, also we can call it as sodium carbonate crystals. Sodium carbonate crystals. So yesterday question came, sodium carbonate crystals, if you'll observe, they contains how much, Ra? They contains 10 molecules.
10 molecules of water of crystallization.
How many formula units? How many formula units? One formula. Understand?
One formula unit.
One formula unit of sodium carbonate. So that is why I can write. What is the formula? So washing soda formula, what is that?
Na2CO3.
10H2O. So this is only called as, what we should call 10 means decahydrate. What we should call? Decahydrate. Please all of you note it down. What is that? Decahydrate. Deca means 10 water of crystallization. 10 molecules of water of crystallization. Is it okay, guys? So this is called as sodium carbonate decahydrate. All of you should note it down. So this one what we should call? Copper sulfate pentahydrate. What we should call? Pentahydrate. Understand? Penta means 5. Pentagon, hexagon, hectagon, octagon.
Soda contain
Like that. Tell me. What? One formula unit. One formula unit only, man. Understand? Like that. We have studied plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is coming from whom? Nitinath, Nitish? Gypsum.
Common salt, sir.
Understand? So gypsum if we'll take, so let me take the gypsum. JYPSUM, gypsum. Is it yes or no? So gypsum also we can call, what is the scientific name? This is general name. What is the scientific name? Calcium sulfate. Is it yes or no? Calcium sulfate. Is it yes or no? So calcium sulfate crystals. So one formula unit of calcium sulfate crystals contains how many units of water of crystallization? 2 units of crystallization. What is the gypsum formula? Anybody? What is the gypsum formula?
CaSO4.2H2O.
So I can write 2H2O. So one formula unit of CaSO4 contains 2 molecules of water of crystallization. That is gone. So CaSO4 2H2O. So this 2 is called as dihydrate. What we should call it, guys? Dihydrate. Please note it down. CaSO4, calcium sulfate dihydrate. Di means how many, Ra? Di means how many?
2, sir. 2, sir. 2.
Let us go with the fourth one. All of you observe very carefully. I hope so many joined. Everybody can respond. Jesse, Yalamati, Dina, Karthikeyan. No response. Fast. You have to speak more. Now let us take iron sulfate crystals. What is that? Next one, ferrous sulfate or iron sulfate. Anything you can take. So iron sulfate crystals you can take, or else what we can call ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate crystals if you take, they contain 7H2O molecules. Called 7H2O. Can anybody say Elamati? What is the formula? What is the formula? FeSO, iron sulfate.
FeSO4.7H2O, sir.
You can say 7H2O.
7H2O, sir.
H2O. So 7 means what we should call? Hepta. What we should call?
Heptahydrate.
Understand? So definitely from these 4, one salt you people are going to get in exam. 100% I will give the guarantee. That is, you should remember it. So this is what we can say. So from this is what the 4 salts you have to remember. First one, what everybody should say. What is that? First one, copper sulfate. Second one is what? What is second one? Sodium carbonate. Understand? Second, third one, calcium sulfate. Iron sulfate. Is it?
Iron sulfate.
So these are the 4 hydrated salts for your class 10th level that you remember. So if you observe here, it should be noted that water of crystallization, it is just a what? It is just a part of crystal structure. Understand? Very, very important. Note. All of you keep note and write. Water of crystallization. Water of crystallization, understanding, is a part of water, part of crystal structure. Understand of all of you guys? Part of crystal structure. So if you want to form these salts in crystal form, so this is must be. So that they must contain the water of crystallization. So the crystal structure of a salt. So if this water of crystallization is not free water, all of you should remember. That is what I said. So people will ask you the question. If water of crystallization, hydrated salts are wet in nature. Is it true, guys? Is it true?
No, sir. No,
They are not the free water. All of you should remember. This water of crystallization is very clearly, I am saying you. All of you should remember. This water of crystallization is not a free water. What is that? It is not a free water. All of you understand, guys? It is not a free water. So it does not wet the salt. All of you should remember. Does not wet the salt. This is what 90% children don't know. So they will think that hydrated means wet in nature, unhydrated means dry in nature. Is it yes, guys? Yes or no? That is, you should remember. So now Nitish is asking, sir, CaSO4 half H2O, in this half came means how to tell, sir? How we can say half, ra? Half what we should call? Last class I have been taught you. Half what we should call? Huh? What is the name? Anybody? Half means what? Huh? Half indicate what?
Semi-hydrate.
Semi-hydrate. Have you remembered? It is called as hemi-hydrate. Understand Nitish? Hemi-hydrate. For example, you can see. Very good. So keep it in a box. Sir, how to read plaster of Paris with the 2 names? What is the first formula plaster of Paris? Anybody? CaSO4 half H2O. Is it yes or no, guys? Half H2O. Now half indicate here. It is called as hemi-hydrate. What you should call? Hemi-hydrate. Now if we'll take next another formula, or also we can write what? 2CaSO4. 2CaSO4 dot H2O. Monohydrate. What we should call? Monohydrate. Understand? But here how many formula units? 2 formula units. Understand, guys? 2 formula units are.
Sir, 10 H2O.
Yeah, 10 H2O. What 10 H2O, ra? They what 10 H2O, Karthikeyan? This is gypsum. I'm saying the POP, ra, POP, plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris here, one formula unit. One formula unit is sharing half H2O molecule. That is why we should call it as hemi-hydrate. What we should call? Hemi-hydrate. Is it okay, Nitish? Now, if two copper sulfate crystals are sharing 1 water molecules, then it is called as 2 formula units of CuSO4 sharing 1 water molecule. That is called as monohydrate. Is it okay, Karthikeyan?
Yes, sir.
That is what I am saying. Is it okay, Nitish? Clear, Nitish? No response from Nitish. Are you there? Okay. So if you understand this, I hope you all understand this. Now, if you see, well, that is what I am saying. Jesse, are you there? Pranita? Now you can see. So this is not a free water. Whatever the water of crystallization present, it is not a free water, so that it does not wet the salt. It does not wet the salt. So the salt containing water of crystallization appears to be how? Perfectly dry or perfectly wet? It is appears to be
Right.
dry. So
Dry.
hydrated salts appears to be perfectly dry. They will ask you like assertion. Hydrated salts appears to be perfectly dry. Reason, because they contains free water. Is it true? Which one is correct?
A is correct.
A is correct, B is wrong. Understanding? So now, second, one more assertion reason I will form. Hydrated salts appears to be wet in nature because they contains water of crystallization. Is it? Which one?
False. A is false.
A is false, and hydrated salts contains water of crystallization. So reason is true, assertion is false. Is it yes or no, guys? That is. So that is you should remember. Now, what is the use of this water of crystallization? So because of use, all of you keep heading. Already I said you. So what is the uses of this water of crystallization? They are the part of water. They are the part of, just now I said, they are the part of what? Crystal structure. Is it yes, guys? Here you can see they are the part of formation of crystal structure. So only if you want to get the crystals of the salts, then only they must contain this water of crystallization. That is why I can say the water of crystallization gives the crystals. Understanding, Ra? Water of crystallization, write it. Water of crystallization. Water of crystallization gives the crystals of, if you are not communicating, what is the use of the class? Crystals of the salts, their shape, and in some cases impart them color, shape, and in some cases, what is the color? What is the draw? Imparts what? Imparts them color. That is you should remember. That is what we should study. Understand all of you? So now, for example, let us take example now. If we'll take the presence of water of crystallization in copper sulfate crystals imparts them which color? Which color?
Blue color.
Blue color. So because of water of crystallization, there appears to be in blue color. Is it okay, guys? Now, if you take the presence of water of crystallization, iron sulfate. What is the formula? Anybody? Iron sulfate. 7H2O.
Yes.
7H2O means what? Heptahydrate. Understand? So it is appears to be green color. In the color? Green color. This all are MCQs. Understand? So, like that, if you take sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate, what is the formula? Salt, hydrated salt. Anybody?
Na2SO4.
Sodium carbonate, sodium sulfate illa, sodium carbonate, sodium carbonate.
CO3.
Huh?
So 10H2O, sir.
Decahydrate.
Sir.
Understand? They are white color. What is that? They are white color. So that is what you have to remember. Now, this is all about the hydrated salts. Till here, any doubt, anybody you can ask. Clear, guys? Akshaya, Pranita, all of you understand? Colors is most important. Bhumika, are you understand? Bhumika? So colors you have to remember very well. Now, let us go with that. Suppose you can take remaining other so many salts is there like cobalt nitrate, sodium carbonate, nickel sulfate, iron sulfate, magnesium sulfate, like different kind of salts are there. So like if you want you can note it down. Other examples. Already I have been taught you how many are? 4. Is it yes, guys? Now if you want you can take more examples. Cobalt nitrate, magnesium sulfate. For class 10th, 3 is enough, 4 is enough. Next, copper sulfate over, nickel sulfate. So these are other examples of hydrated salts. Now, this is all about the hydrated salts. Now, what we are going to study means, if you start heating, action of heat, what happened to these hydrated salts? You already know that. If I'll start heating that, what will happen, Ra? Action of heat on hydrated salts. Why, anybody, what will happen? Hydrated salts. If I start heating, guys, tell me, if I have moisture, if I start heating, what will happen? Moisture will be disappear. Is it yes or no? Nobody will answer. Are you there in meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, if I start heating, what will happen? You can able to tell me?
Lose water.
So they will
Lose
lose
water.
their water of crystallization. So when we start heating hydrated salts, understand? So whenever we start heating the hydrated salts, if we start heating strongly if we start heating, then what will happen? They will turn into unhydrated. What will happen, Ra? Unhydrated salts means in the sense of what? Loss of what, Ra? Loss of
Water of crystallization.
water of crystallization. That is, you have to remember it. Now, these hydrated salts, once they will lose their water of crystallization, immediately they will lose their, I already told you, their regular shape and color.
Their water.
Yeah, whenever they will lose their water, immediately the regular shape will go. Understanding? They will lose their regular
They
shape.
become unhydrated.
Yes. They will lose their color and they become colorless powdery substances. Becomes what? Becomes colorless powdery substances. That is the reason why we should. Water of crystallization is most important. So when water is added to an unhydrated salts, again it becomes, understanding, hydrated once again and it regains its color back. So once if you add unhydrated salts, what is that, Ra? Unhydrated salts, if you add water, what do you have to do, Ra? If you add water, again they will turn into
Become hydrated salt, sir.
Hydrated salts.
salt, and again they will get back their, understanding, back their color and shape. Do you understand, guys? Get back there, retains its color, and they will become, understanding, again there to the
Hydrated salt.
yes, that is how to remember. So for example, let us take first hydrated to unhydrated will go. So first example you take copper sulfate crystals. So hydrated, tell me, whenever I am saying copper sulfate crystals indicate what, Amma? Hydrated or unhydrated? Pranita?
Hydrated, sir.
Hydrated, sir.
Powder means unhydrated. That is, you should remember. So CuSO4 dot 5H2O, hydrated to unhydrated. So if I start heating, what will happen, Ra? Heat. So it what is the color? What is the color of this one? This is in blue color. And if you start heating, it will form CuSO4, which is what color, Ra? Which is in white color, plus water will evaporate. So that water is how much water? 5H2O water goes away. What will happen? Goes away. So that is what hydrated to unhydrated. Now let us make, you can see, reverse if you'll see. So reverse, what will happen, Ra? Reverse if you'll do the dehydration of copper sulfate or unhydration copper sulfate crystals is reversible process. So again you can add water to it. What will happen? Anybody can say? The dehydrated means water is removed. Understand, guys? Dehydration of copper sulfate crystals are reversible process. So if you take again, you can add water. So CuSO4, which is in which state, Ra? What is the color? White color. If you add water again, 5H2O, water. So if you take water, again it will form what? CuSO4
dot 3H2O.
H2O. So this is what we should call again. Which color will come? Blue color. Do you understand, guys? So anhydrous copper sulfate turns blue on adding water. So this property of anhydrous copper sulfate is used to detect the presence of water or presence of moisture in a liquid. Is it okay, guys? Is it okay, guys? So this property only, this property of copper sulfate, this property of anhydrous, suppose I have some kind of a substance. I don't know either it contains moisture or not. So what I will do, guys, I will add copper sulfate powder. Is it yes or no, guys? If I add copper sulfate powder, white color, it will turn into which color? Which will turn into which color? Blue color. Is it yes or no? If it contains blue color, then it is called as it contains moisture. I can conclude. Is it yes or no? Respond me up.
Yes, sir.
That is why this property of anhydrous copper sulfate is used to detect what? Detect the moisture in a liquid. Understand it? Detect the presence of moisture or water in a liquid. That is what the use of this one. This is also an MCQ. So if a few drops of the liquid, you can add it to the white anhydrous copper sulfate powder, then it will turn into blue color. Then we can say that it is indicating what? The presence of moisture in the liquid. If there is no moisture, it won't be turned into blue color. Is it okay, guys? Yes or no? All of you, respond me. Ashika, or understand Ashika?
Became blue.
Ashika,
Yes, sir.
Anusri. Okay. Now, I think meeting is going to end, correct? I want to teach you the experiment now. How to do experiment. If it comes to the lab, what we have to do. So, we'll describe an experiment to show that action of heat on copper sulfate crystal. So, if I'll start heating, what will happen? If I am not heating, then what will happen? We'll see now. So, what we have to do means we have to take some kind of copper sulfate crystals in a test tube, boiling test tube, we can say. That is what it is. So, what is the color of copper sulfate crystals? Anybody can say? What is the color of copper sulfate crystals?
Sir, blue.
Blue color.
Blue color, sir.
Now we'll see that activity. Now please, that is what the last one. I think meeting is going to end. Please join fastly. I will end this meeting. This activity is very simple now. Only we'll observe the change in color. That's all. So with this, I'm ending the meeting again.